Yeah.
ముందుకు రాలేదుగా వాళ్ళిద్దరు వేణుగోపాల్ అండ్ ఎవరన్నీ.
श्री हरये नमः। सद्गुरु दिव्य चरणारविंदाभ्यां नमो नमः। श्रीकांतो मातुलो यस्य जननी सर्वमंगला जनकः शंकरो देवः तं वन्दे कुञ्जराननम्। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ Swagatam, namaste to everybody.
నమస్తే.
Namaste.
So as a part of this journey towards studying Dakshinamurti Stotram, we started with the dhyana verses or the verses that are given for meditation before entering into the Dakshinamurti Stotram as such. Dakshinamurti Stotram is a composition of 10 verses, simple 10 verses in Shardula Vikriditam, a meter by Bhagavad Padacharya Adi Shankara Acharya. It is a quintessence of Vedanta. All the concepts that need to be covered in the 10 Upanishads and its commentary are covered in this simple versification and a stuti on Sri Dakshinamurti by the Acharya. So this is the subject matter of Dakshinamurti Stotram that we have taken up for study. The Stotram as such is only of 10 verses, but there have been a few dhyana verses or verses that aid in meditation of a form of Dakshinamurti has been added initially by other Mahatmas, which is where we started. We started with the first verse. Does anybody want to recite the first verse?
Is that the one on
Yes,
the page right now?
on the screen, please.
Maunavakya, yeah.
Om.
Go ahead.
Describe, yeah. Maunavakya prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvanam varshistante vasad rishiganai ravrutam brahmanishtai Acharendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandamurti Swatmarama Muditavadnam Dakshinamurti Mide.
So that was the first verse. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varsisthante Vasadrishiganairavritam Brahmanishtaihi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudram Anandamurtim Swatmaramam Muditavadanam Dakshina Murtim Ide. So we saw the meaning of the word Dakshina Murti. Dakshina Murti has been split in two ways. Dakshina, Dakshina and Murti, and Dakshina and Amurti. So we saw the south facing Amrita Swarupi, the south facing deity Dakshina Murti, Dakshina Bhimukaha Murtihi. That is one definition that we saw. Then Dakshina Shemushi Prokta. We saw another definition of Dakshina. Shemushi Dakshina Prokta Sa Yasya Bhikshane Mukham Dakshina Bhimukaha Proktaha Shivo Asau Brahmavadi Bhihi. This is a verse that is quoted to emphasize the point that Dakshinamurti is the Murti of Parameshwara made out of pure knowledge. And we saw another uh, explanation to Dakshinamurti, which is Dakshine Vakshastale Aham iti Spurana Rupi, who is the Antaryami, who is there in our heart, and he is the imperishable Brahman as well. So we saw different ways by which this word Dakshinamurti has been interpreted in the last satsang, and we saw the meaning of the word that verse that we studied, which is Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. By silence, he is imparting the knowledge of Brahman. Yuvanam, he is very young. Varsishtha Antevasadrishiganairavritam. He is surrounded by mature rishis. Who are also Brahmanishthaihi, who is the teacher of teachers, Karakalita Chinmudram Anandamurtim. He sports a very nice Chinmudra. In his hands, he is Anandamurti, and Swa Atmani Aramam Swatmaramam Mudita Vadanam. He has a pleasant countenance. He has a very nice smile. Dakshinamurtim, that Dakshinamurti, I salute. Ide. So we stopped there. Then another verse, we started studying this verse. Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam Sakalamuni Jananam Jnanadatharamarat Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam Janana Marana Dukkacheda Daksham Namami. Does anybody want to recite with me?
Sure.
Okay. Vatavitapi Samipe
Vatavitapi Samipe
Bhumi Bhage
Bhumi Bhage
Nishannam
Nishannam
Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam
Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam
Sakalamuni Jananam
Jananam
Jnanadataram
Jnanadataram
Arat
Arat
Sakalamuni Jananam
Sakalamuni Jananam
Jnanadataram Arat
Jnanadataram
Tribhuvana Gurumisham
Tribhuvana Gurumisham
Dakshinamurti Devam
Dakshinamurti Devam
Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam
Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam
Janana Marana Dukkha
Marana Dukkha
Cheda
Cheda
Daksham
Daksham
Namami
Daksham Namami
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham
Namami
Namami
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami
Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam
Vatavitapi
Samipe Bhumi Bhage
Nishannam
Sakalamuni Jananam Jnanadataram Arat
Sakalamuni Jananam
Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam
Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami
Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami.
Very nice. So this is a very similar verse to the previous verse. Namami, I salute. Whom do I salute? Dakshinamurti Devam Namami. I salute that Deva, that Parameshwara called Dakshinamurti, who is in the form of Dakshinamurti. We have seen the form of Dakshinamurti in detail. He is a Yuva, he is a young form of Ishvara sitting under a banyan tree, surrounded by the four major rishis, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. He has a chin mudra in his hand. His eyes are half closed, and he sports a very nice smile. He is in absolute silence. He is reveling in his own self, and the other rishis are also in the same state because of his knowledge. So the only visual that could come close to this description is people sitting around Bhagavan. Ramana Bhagavan was just sitting there and everybody else sat there. That's it. Ramana Bhagavan did not discourse on anything on a daily basis. Of course, he talked here and there, but that's not the point is he was in silence. He was abiding in his own Atma. Everybody else, he was able to impart both that state as well as the process of inquiry. So both the upasana and the sthiti was imparted to the disciple as such. So both the means and the end both were imparted to the disciple. That is the reason why whenever somebody sat near Bhagwan, they immediately lost their body consciousness because they did not associate themselves with the body nor the mind nor the intellect. Immediately they were able to abide in their own self, and he gave the process of inquiry to them as well. In fact, it is so astonishing that Ramana Bhagwan did that to not just like all the seekers. He did that to even any other creature who came in contact with him. Like there are instances where a monkey would run. It is said that a monkey came running because there were fruits placed in front of Bhagwan. So a monkey being a monkey just put its hand on that fruit, and Bhagwan just looked at that monkey and it just stood there. Even a monkey could lose its body identification and its chapala buddhi and just be there as itself for a certain amount of time, and then immediately it again it gained body consciousness after like say 10 minutes or something like that. People were just looking at that. It seems for 10 minutes that monkey was just sitting there gazing at Bhagavan like that. And after that it took a fruit, and then when it took a fruit, it is in the memoir it is said that Bhagwan looked at it and said that why are you losing that state? What is there for you to go grab? So that is like the communication that Bhagwan could impart on a disciple. So this is the only close example that we can relate to with the form of Dakshinamurti that is being talked about in this verse. Dakshinamurti Devam Namami. Like so that Dakshinamurti who is just reveling in his own self. So where is he? Kutra Nishannam. Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam. Vatavriksha is a banyan tree. So Ashwatta Vriksha, Vatavriksha and all have a very spiritual significance. Nyagrodo Dumbaro Shvathashanu Randanishodana is from Vishnu Sahasranama. Nyagroda Yanamaha. Nyagroda means Vatavriksha. So Vatavriksha in itself is a form of Ishvara. So in fact, I think Nyagrodo, yeah, Sarvesham Uparivartata iti Nyagrodaha is the meaning given by Bhagavad Acharya in his Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashya. So Nyagroda meaning Vatavriksha itself has a very high spiritual significance. So Dakshinamurti is seated under Vatavitapi Samipe, Vatavitapin, under the banyan tree, Samipe. Under it, Bhumi Bhage, on the platform, Nishannam, he is seated there. So when you see the picture of Dakshinamurti, invariably you will see a tree. Not very many deities would sit under a tree. Like he is like Bhagavan Buddha is like that. He sat under the Bodhisattva tree, the fig tree, I think. So Vata Vitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam. In fact, the tree is so beautifully portrayed in many of the sculptures where you would see animals and birds that have mutual enmity just being there without any enmity. So that is a way by which the sculpture portrays the nature of Dakshinamurti or the surrounding that is there around Dakshinamurti. So even in the picture that we saw initially, the Stapati had put a parrot right there, as you can see, and a snake that is just sitting on top of the parrot. Normally, a bird and a snake do not go together, but he portrays them both at there in as a part of the sculpture to really show that the whole environment around Dakshinamurti is in tune with his nature. So everybody is reveling in Atma. So there is no paraspara enmity there. So Vata Vitami Sapipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam. Then what is he doing? Jnanadataram. Kim dataram? Jnanadataram. He imparts knowledge. What is he imparting? He is imparting knowledge. Katam dadati, arat dadati. He is imparting direct knowledge. This is a very unique feature of Dakshinamurti because there is no pravachana here. There isn't any other explanation that is given, and a doubt arises in the devotee or in the listener, and then he comes back, clarifies another thing, and then some other knowledge is imparted, and there is no back and forth. We see this back and forth in many of the Upanishads. Bhurgurvaiva runihi pitaram varunamupasasara adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. So there is a question that is asked and there is an answer that is given. Satapotapyata go sat annam brahmeti vyajanat. So he comes back and then gives a conclusion saying that, hey, I have found that this is what Brahman is. And then he says, go do more tapas and find out more, get into more investigation. Then pranam brahmeti vyajanat. It goes on and on until he really finds the nature of Brahman, and he comes back and says, Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. So that kind of a back and forth communication is not there. Arat, instantaneous knowledge. When somebody sat in front of Bhagavan, they just had no consciousness of their body or their mind. So the association of body, mind, intellect just went away just because of the sannidhyam of that murti, of that Dakshinamurti. In fact, even in the old hall, I think Bhagavan just used to sit facing south like Dakshinamurti. Just a coincidence. Sakala Muni Jananam Jnanadataram Arat. So Kasmai Dataram Sakala Muni Jananam, for all the munis, he is imparting that knowledge, the knowledge of the self instantaneously. So Sakala Muni Jananam, to all the munis, the Sakala Muni Jananam is a very beautiful term because Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata are only the four that are portrayed in front of Dakshinamurti most of the time. But then in many of the very old sculptures, you see all of the rishis sitting under Dakshinamurti. In various instances, they get his guidance, like Narada, Tumburu, Shuka, and so on. Most of the Brahmanishtas that you see in as sages are portrayed in front of Dakshinamurti in general. So he is Sakala Muni Janana. In fact, in the Agamas, the four rishis are different. Four rishis are given different in different agamas. In the Dakshinamurti, Pratishtha, Kalpa, and so on, there will be Vasishta, Kashyapa, Atri, Angiras, and so on. So not just these four rishis, Sakala Muni Janana. So whoever is the seeker, he is able to impart that knowledge. So he is not taking the qualification of the disciple into consideration, because he is a highly qualified guru that take takes any disciple and he is able to get them to that state. Sakala Munijananam Jnanadataram Tribhuvana Gurum Isham Tribhuvana Guruhu. This guru is not restricted to any specific kind of people, or any specific personalities, or a certain demography of people, or anything like that. He is the guru of all the three worlds. Tribhuvana Guru. Bhuvanatrayam is generally associated with Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, and Suvaha. So it is this earth and the atmosphere and the Swarga that is normally taken as Bhuvanatraya, Tribhuvanam. That is a term that indicates a very interesting thing, because when somebody asked, I think Sringeri Jagadguru, as to how do people call you Jagadguru? How can you be the guru of the entire Jagat? You are just a guru of a set of people who are just sitting there near you. How can you be the guru of this entire Jagat, the entire universe? For that, I think the Sringeri Acharya gave a very, very interesting answer. He said, hey, I am common for this entire world. No matter where an ardent seeker is, and if he approaches me, I am entitled to teach him. I have the responsibility to be his guru. So I have no distinction between devotees. I am not pick and choosing anybody. I am available for all. So that kind of an availability. In fact, even Ramana Bhagwan showed that kind of an availability. Anybody could approach him and just be there. So in fact, many have said that nobody else have seen any other guru like that, who was available to a disciple all the time. He was just there. Tribhuvana Gurum Isham. He is the Ishvara. Of course, he is the Srishti Sthiti Laya Karta. That is he is the controller of this universe. That is the general meaning of the word Isha, but specifically, he is also the best of the gurus. Tribhuvana Gurum Isham. Why is he the best of all the gurus? Because he does something very unique. Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham. He is a daksha, meaning he is he is a very he's very good in doing something. He's a daksha. What is he very good in doing? Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham. He is able to cut cheda. What? A dukkha, a distress. What distress is he able to get rid of? He is able to get rid of the distress called Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda. Dukkha. He is able to get rid of a dukkha called Janana and Marana. So any other dukkha is in between Janana and Marana. So when the Janana Marana dukkha it goes away, I think any other dukkha that is there in between this also goes away. Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham. He is a Samartha. Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami. Because obviously he is teaching the nature of this self, which is beyond birth and death. I think Bhagavatam has a very beautiful way of saying it. Between Janana and Marana, there is Jara and Vyadhi, I think. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam is how Bhagavatam presents it. Janana marana dukkha cheda daksham namami. Vatavitapi samipe bhumi bhage nishannam. He is seated under a beautiful banyan tree. Sakala muni jananam jnanadataram arat. He is imparting self-knowledge to all the munis who have surrounded him. Tribhuvana Guru Misham. He is the teacher of the entire universe. Dakshina Murti Devam. That Dakshina Murti, Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham, who is capable of removing the sorrow of birth and death. Namami, Aham Namami, I salute. So this is a very simple verse, very eloquent verse that can be used for meditation, like how the previous verse can be used for the meditation. There are another few verses that are very similar, but we'll still go through it because it traditionally, as a part of Dakshinamurti Stotra, these are all recited. Can I have a volunteer to recite with us?
Yes, Arvind Garu.
Chitram Vatataror Mule.
Chitram Vatataror Mule.
Chitram Vatataror Mule.
Chitram Vatataror
Taror Mule
Vriddhaha
Vriddhaha
Sishya Gurur Yuva.
Shishya Gurur Yuva
Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam.
Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam
Sishyastu Chinna Samshayaha.
Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha
Chitram Vatataror Mule.
Chitram Vatataror Mule
Vriddha Sishya Gurur Yuva.
Vriddha Shishya Gurur Yuva
Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam.
Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam
Sishyastu Chinna Samshayaha.
Shishyastu chinna samshaya.
Vatataror Mule Chitram Vichitram. Under the banyan tree, Vatataroho Mule. You've seen this before. Vatataru, Vatavriksha. Taru means a tree. Vatataru means a banyan tree. Under the banyan tree, I see an astonishing thing. Chitram. I see an astonishing astonishing thing under the banyan tree. What is the astonishing thing that you see under the banyan tree?
Yeah.
Vriddhaha Sishyaha Vichitram.
Yeah.
There are very aged disciples who are sitting under the banyan tree. That is a Vichitram. That is an abnormality. Okay, wow, what is so abnormal about old people sitting under a banyan tree? No, they are sitting under a Gurur Yuva. Guru is a Yuva. Oh, that is a Vichitram. Okay, under a banyan tree, there is a young Guru and aged disciples are sitting under him. Oh, what an abnormal sight it is. It's a Vichitram. Chitram Vatataror Mule Vriddhaha Sishyaha Parantu Guru Yuva. Guru is a Yuva. Okay. And there is something more abnormal in this. What is the Guru doing? Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam. Vyakhyanam Maunam Vichitram. Oh, the way in which the Guru is explaining things is pure silence. He's communicating through silence. Oh, that is an astonishing thing.
Yeah.
That is so abnormal.
Yeah.
And what is much more abnormal is that Sishyastu Chinna Samshayaha.
They have no doubts.
Yeah, they have no doubts. They all their doubts have been cleared. So this
Wow.
guru who's young, who's surrounded by old disciples, who's communicating through silence, is able to get rid of all the doubts in the mind of the disciple. What an astonishment it is. The Kavi, the poet, puts it in a very poetical way. Chitram vatataror mule vruddhaha sishyaha gurur yuva gurostu maunam vyakhyanam. He communicates by silence, and all these disciples are doubtless. Sishyastu chinna samshayaha. A very beautiful verse. Again, it is for meditation on the form of Dakshinamurti. Chitram vatataror mule vruddha sishya gurur yuva gurostu maunam vyakhyanam sishyastu chinna samshayaha. Very eloquent verse. You would have heard this verse many a times. Another very popular verse. Somebody to go with us. Nidhaye sarva vidyanam
Nidhaye sarva vidyanam
bhishaje bhavaroginam.
Vishaje Bhavaroginam
Nidhaye sarva vidyanam
Nidhaye sarva vidyanam
bhishaje bhavaroginam.
Vishaje Bhavaroginam
Gurave sarvalokanam
Gurave sarvalokanam
Dakshinamurtaye namaha.
Dakshinamurtaye
Sorry, I think
Yeah, you.
what did I do? I did
You
something. Sorry.
you went ahead. You
Okay.
went ahead.
I did something. Okay. Nidhaye sarva vidyanam
Sarvavidyanam
Vishaje bhavaroginam
Vishaje Bhavaroginam
Gurave sarvalokanam
Gurave sarvalokanam
Dakshinamurtaye namaha.
Dakshinamurtaye namaha.
Yeah, I've seen this shloka rearranged in different ways and recited by different people. No matter what it is, these are the contents. People also say Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha and so on. So it is just a way by which it is arranged. So Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Sarvavidyanam Nidhaye Namaha. O Dakshinamurti, who is the repository of all knowledge, Sarva Vidyanam Nidhi. He is the storehouse of all knowledge. He is the treasurer of all knowledge. Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam. What does that knowledge do? It acts as a medicine for and heals the disease of samsara. Bhavaroga. In fact, Parameshwara is always portrayed as a Bhishak in the Vedas. Bhishak means a physician. Trimbhagam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshi yamamritaat amritaat. So this portrayal of Parameshwara as a physician, meaning someone who cures this disease of samsara, bhishaje bhavaroginam gurave sarvalokanam. You are the teacher of this entire universe. Sarvalokanam gurave dakshinamurtaye namaha. I salute that dakshinamurti. This is a very simple verse. This is the last verse, and Om Namah Pranavarthaya.
Om Namah Pranavarthaya.
Om Namah Pranavarthaya.
Om Namah
Pranavarthaya.
Shuddha ज्ञानैकमूर्तये
Shuddha-jnanaikamurti.
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
Namaha.
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय
Om Namah
प्रणवाय
शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये
शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय
निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये namaha. There is a namaha in the front and in the back. Namaha pranavarthaya. You are the meaning of the sound om, which just is the primordial sound. Om namah pranavarthaya. You are of the form of Shuddha Jnana Eka Murtaye. Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye. The pure Shuddha Jnana, the non-dual knowledge, the pure Jnana Eka Murtaye. You are made after the pure knowledge, because we saw this in the previous verses too, where every Murti of Ishvara is depicted as an embodiment of something. Like Krishna is an embodiment of love, prema swarupa, prema murti, and Rama is like Ramo vigrahavan dharma, dakshina murti jnana swarupi, jnana murti, shuddha jnanaika murtaye, nirmalaya. You are so pure. Just the meditation of the form of Ishvara in the form of Dakshinamurti itself will bring purity in our hearts. Nirmalaya, Prashantaya, he is so tranquil, he is full of Shanti. Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. That Dakshinamurti I salute. So another 3 minutes. Just with all these verses, the intention is very simple: to meditate on the form of Dakshinamurti. So let's just take 3 minutes to meditate on the form of Dakshinamurti. Take a deep breath, 1 or 2 deep breaths. Gently close your eyes. Visualize this in front of you. You see Mount Kailash with snow-peaked mountains all around. A gentle, cool breeze is there. And you see a huge banyan tree. It is so lush green. It is so tall. And under it, there is a stone pedestal. And you see a beautiful young boy sitting there, a yuva. He has matted hair, and Ganga is flowing out of his hair. He sports a beautiful moon there on his forehead. His eyes are gently closed. He sports a nice smile, just radiating the inner peace that he represents. He has 4 beautiful arms. He sports Chin Mudra, a beautiful gesture that portrays that the true nature of an individual and the true nature of Ishvara are one and the same. He has a stack of palm leaves which holds the knowledge that he is an embodiment of. On his upper two arms, he holds a ball of fire on one and a damaru in another. He is an embodiment of all the 5 elements. Prithvi, the earth or gross matter, is what he is seated on. Jala or waters, represented by Ganga, is flowing from his matted hair. Agni is on one of his upper arms, indicating he is of the form of all this. Akasha or space is represented by the space within the Damaru. And Vayu is indicated by the air around him and his matted hair tied with a ribbon on either side, as such, representing earth, water, fire, space, all the Panchabhutas. He is of the nature of all of this Prakriti. And that Dakshinamurti is surrounded by Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. The 4 main disciples were also reveling in the same self-knowledge that Dakshinamurti is imparting. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddhajnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.